Welcome to another episode of the Speak English with a British Accent podcast. 3 sections today covering nursery rhymes, spluh words, and some tricky pronunciations. Let's get to it. Section 1. Speak RP like a nursery rhyme star. So today I'm inviting you to embrace your inner child for a very grown-up reason. Nursery rhymes might sound simple and slightly absurd if we're honest, but they're actually brilliant tools for practicing your British RP accent. Why? Because they're short, rhythmic, repetitive, and packed with the sounds you need to master. So I've got 2 for you today. The first one is Mary, Mary, quite contrary, and the second is Jack and Jill. Ideally, I'd like you to listen to them for a couple of times. Then try speaking along with me or pausing and repeating it line by line. So the first one is Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Let's listen to the rhyme. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Again. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Okay, so what I'd like you to listen out for in particular for this rhyme is t in words like quite and contrary. Make sure you pronounce these t sounds within the words. Keep an ear out for garden. It's not a pirate word. There's no r sounds in garden. Garden, not garden. Garden. And make sure you're linking your words like pearls on a string. Bells and cockle shells. Maids all in a row. Smooth connections are the secret sauce of RP. Shall I read it once more? Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Okay, let's move to Jack and Jill. This is a very famous nursery rhyme, and I'm sure you know this one off by heart. So here's the rhyme. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So listen out for these short vowels. So it's hill, not heel. Fell, not feel. Again, another R sound, this time at the end of the word. The R at the end of water disappears. Water, water. We use that schwa sound. And when we're mastering the music of English, we're stressing the important words. So Jack and Jill and hill and pail and fell and crown and tumbling. And it gives your accent its rhythm. Let's take a listen again. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So listen, repeat, record it yourself if you're brave, and you should be by now. And why not try whispering it too? It slows things down so you can really hear what your mouth is doing. Let me know how you get on. I'll put the text for each of the nursery rhymes in the show notes so you can read them in your own time. And don't forget, if you'd like more structured help with every single British RP sound, you'll find it inside my British Accent bundle, learningbritishaccent.com/bundle, where you'll have access to a full module on nursery rhymes, short stories, news articles, and fairy tales. Section 2. Splash out on your pronunciation today. So in our last mini episode, we mastered the spr, S-P-R words. Now we're going to get to the spl, splendid words with S-P-L. Words beginning with S-P-L have a sharp, splatty energy, very British, very animated, and very easy to get wrong. So think of it like S is the soft hiss again, S, P. P is crisp and poppy, P, use your lips. And L, the tip of your tongue, flicks up to the roof of your mouth. L, L. If your L disappears, you might end up saying spit instead of split. So let's do some British spl words. Splash, splash, essential for British holidays and bath time. Split, split, what we do with bills, hairs and opinions. Splinter, splinter, the sharp little nuisance in your finger. Splendid, splendid, terribly posh and very underused. Spleen, spleen, the most dramatic organ. And splice, splice, that's what editors do. So say this slowly. The splendid woman splashed through the split, spliced wood. Then try it naturally. The splendid woman splashed through the split, spliced wood. Hear the clarity? That's RP precision. So I want you to record it, review it, and adjust where necessary. Section 3. 10 tricky pronunciations. So the other day I came across an old article from 2014 which highlighted 10 words that 80% of people apparently mispronounce. Now, as it was so long ago, I wonder if we still have issues with these words, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do. But let's go through the list and see if you're making the same mispronunciations as 80% of the people. Okay, so the first one is a place name, and it's spelt E-L-Y. 3 letters, E-L-Y. This is mispronounced by apparently 59% of people, who say Eli instead of the correct Ely, Ely. So E-L-Y is Ely. The second word is a West Yorkshire town, which is spelt K-E-I-G-H-L-E-Y. Now, apparently 40% of people get this wrong. And instead of saying the correct pronunciation of Keithley, Keithley, they say Kylie or Kaylee. Keithley, K-E-I-G-H-L-E-Y. The third one is sherbet. I had to do a double take on this one because I thought, oh, I'm getting this one wrong. Now, I, along with 40% of all the people, have been saying sherbet with an R in the second syllable, but it's sherbet. Can you hear the difference? It's quite subtle. Okay, number 4. Okay, it's the phrase et, E-T, then C-E-T-E-R-A. And you're meant to say et cetera, not etc. So 34% of people are saying etc. instead of saying etc. Etc. Not etc. Can you hear the difference? Moving on to number 5, this is actually a station name. It's St. Pancras, not St. Pancreas, not the organ. St. Pancras, not St. Pancreas. Apparently 33% of people get this wrong. Number 6, I think, probably has been helped by Sabrina Carpenter, and this is espresso. 26% of people get this wrong, and they're saying expresso instead of espresso. Espresso, not espresso. Another foodie one at number 7 is 25% of people get this wrong. They say bruschetta instead of bruschetta. Bruschetta. Not bruschetta, it's bruschetta. I think the Italians will probably pick me up on this. At number 8 is often. To me, this is not a mispronunciation. It is quite okay to say often or often. We've been through this one before. I interchangeably use often and often. Traditionally, it has been often, but often has become increasingly more common in the UK. Number 9. Okay, prescription. Now, apparently, 21% of you are saying prescription or proscription. It's prescription. Prescription, not prescription or proscription. And finally, it's another place name. Greenwich. So that's not Greenwich or Greenwich, it's Greenwich. Greenwich. So which ones have you been saying incorrectly? I'm still not sure about this sherbet. See, I say sherbet instead of sherbet. Sherbet. Well, that brings us to the end of another mini episode. I hope to see you back here at the end of the week for another slice of RP British pronunciation. Bye for now.